What's up,
Hi,
guys?
YouTube. How you guys doing? It's Joe and Tucker, and we're gonna show a couple trailers again tonight. Hope everybody has had a good weekend so far. Tuck, what'd you do today?
I worked.
Was it awesome?
It was work. It was chill.
Did you have to deal with any buttholes?
Maybe some buttholes, but it wasn't too bad.
That's good.
Um, but how
What are you
about you,
eating?
pops?
Huh? From
Surprise!
where? McDonald's?
McDonald's fries.
You have to. It's like a no-brainer.
Hey, now,
Or is it?
like brains, like zombie brain.
Like zombies. What's up, Mike? Easy Comic Reader. Got Easy Comic Reader in the house. We got Quentin's in the house. What's up, Quentin?
What's up, Easy? What's up, Quentin?
Okay. So, regular format. We're going to show a couple movie trailers and discuss, put our thoughts into it.
Hmm?
Wait, what's going on? Got to get those mini tacos going, Ryu. Did you have any dips? You going to dip them in anything or what? Sour cream, salsa? I tell you, the Taco Bell, you can buy them at the grocery store. They got the Taco Bell avocado ranch dip. Oh, there's that part in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they lift the Nazis because they're cool. Not.
What?
They're lifting up the ark,
Mhm.
the lid of the ark, and then their faces melt off like they should. That's how I feel when I open up that stuff. I'm just like, I don't feel like a Nazi, but I just feel like, oh, you see,
Mixed ranch and habanero with. Oh, that sounds delectable.
I should have used a different reference toward that.
Oh well.
Remember in Die Hard when they open up the vault and you hear the bump, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony? That's how I feel when I use that dip. Yeah, Ryu, you better start sharing it. Okay, we are going to start with the 1978 George A. Romero classic. Let's get this hooked up and ready to go. Here we go. George A. Romero classic. Let's get this hooked up and ready to go.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time.
Not that room! Not that room!
Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill. This situation must be controlled before it's too late. They are multiplying too rapidly.
Dawn of the Dead.
Meet me on the roof at 9 o'clock. Getting out.
I don't believe
We're
it.
gonna
What?
get out in the chopper. We've got to survive. Somebody's got to survive.
They kill for one reason. They kill for food. They eat their victims.
Imagine, if you will, that something has gone terribly wrong.
Shoot it, man.
Now, accept the fact that there's no escaping the horrible consequences. George Romero brings back the dead. Night of the Living Dead has ended. Dawn of the Dead is here.
We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions.
Operator dead. Post abandoned. And they never get out of the room. It's everywhere. What the hell is it?
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
What are they doing? Why do they come here?
Some kind of instinct, memory, what they used to do. This was an important place in their lives.
What is it?
We've got a war.
I'm afraid.
We have spawned our own savagery. Soon, it will consume us all. It pages a horrible, hauntingly accurate vision of the mindless excesses of a society gone mad.
They must be destroyed on sight.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
We are down to the line, folks. We are down to the line.
Dawn of the Dead.
I'm muted. Sorry.
There's
Fuck
Hot.
yeah. Let's go.
Here's the deal. That movie, even today, that is such a kick-ass movie. And, you know, it's like you think pop culture, you think all this crap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what, 68, George Romero made Night of the Living Dead. It freaked people out. But that movie was such a metaphor to civil rights and everything like that. But this movie just kind of, I think that's why horror movies are important, because they're made for the times. They're made for the times, what's going on at the time. It's the only real outlet when it comes to cinema, movies. It's the only real outlet that they have is horror movies. That's all we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can throw all the shittiness and all the negativity. We can either have a guy with the hockey mask, a dude with the glove, a bunch of freaking zombies.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part, I don't know. I can watch Dawn of the Dead 50 freaking times. You know, and I don't want to talk about the remake, because I thought the remake was pretty badass too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, that movie, like, the original, like, Dead trilogy that Romero made is, like, 3 tonally completely different movies at different stages of his career and different times in the world, and they all perfectly represent what was going on at that time. And you have, like, like Night of the Living Dead. You have, like, you know, the again, like, the civil rights backdrop with that movie, and you have all the characters, and also it's like the first time you see real, like, flesh-eating zombies.
Yeah.
You know, but Dawn of the Dead, like, you get the Tom Savini gore, the fucking Goblins soundtrack. Are you kidding me, dude?
Goblins. Anybody
Dude.
out there? I'm sure Mike, Easy Comic Reader, man. The Goblins, dude.
Mhm.
The Goblins. They did a lot of. Who else? Who did Suspiria? Argento.
Yep.
They wrote soundtracks. Oh, honey, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No. Amazing. The soundtrack. I'm not sure exactly who shot the movie. The way the movie's shot, edited, acted, is fucking phenomenal. Like, I know this is like a crazy thing, and I know it's a popular movie. There still hasn't been a good release of Dawn of the Dead, the original. I'm pretty sure the only way to get it is if you import it from the UK or if you get like an out of print DVD. But that movie is so fucking good. It's also super long, but you don't feel it. It's not like there's like isn't there like a 3-hour cut of that movie? That's out there?
Well, I mean, that's his bed. That's his Citizen Kane, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, that
Mm-hmm.
I love how they're stuck in the zombie movies are about survival, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have Night of the Living Dead, which is what the hell is going on here? We need to figure out a way to survive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dawn of the Dead, you have, okay, we see the shit that's going on. We're figuring out how to survive, and it's working. You know? And to put it further, when you have the third movie of the trilogy, when you have Day of the Dead, you realize nothing's going to work because as human beings, we are shitty shitty creatures on this planet.
Mhm.
You know? But anyway, Dawn of the Dead, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. George Romero is a freaking genius. And I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is like the fucking performances from the movie
Oh, yeah.
too. Ken Foree, there's a
Ken
Foree.
Foree.
Ken Foree. Oh my god! Ken Foree, that whole and I guess we can spoil it. It's been out for 50 fucking years, but the whole last like hour is
Yeah.
so good. It's like I know like something happens and then Ken Foree's just like fuck. He's like
Yeah.
I gotta kick into gear here, and
Yep.
it's so badass. I love it. As morbid as the movie is and as gruesome and stuff, that the pacing's so nice, that soundtrack's fucking badass, the performers are doing the best possible job. Also seeing Tom Savini in it too as one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
bikers when they're throwing fucking pies in the face of the zombies in the mall.
Zombies. Then he gets ripped apart.
And he gets ripped apart. And then yeah, I don't know, man. And then what's cool too is like you have Tom Savini who he was supposed to do the special effects for Night of the Living Dead, but then he pretty sure he got drafted into Vietnam.
Yep.
So he couldn't do them. And then after he was hired to do Dawn of the Dead, and those special effects are fucking gnarly in that movie.
Oh, yeah. They're
And then-
totally brutal.
Even in Day of the Dead as well. Like the choke on it, that shit. That's choke on it. That shit is insane. Yeah, it looks great. And then what's also really cool, and I'm sorry if I'm going on a side tangent here, but Tom Savini going from not being able to work on the Night of the Living Dead original and then remaking Night of the Living Dead and making one of the best remakes.
Oh, yeah. With Tony Todd.
With Tony Todd. Oh my god, Tony Todd. Is it Bill Moseley's in that too?
Yep, Bill Moseley.
It's awesome.
The thing that's so interesting too is like Tom Savini was a photographer.
Mhm.
So most of the special effects, this was throughout his career too.
Mhm.
He looked at those photos of the soldiers and the villagers that were killed, these pictures he had, and that's what he used for that, for the design of his whatever it is. God, there's so much. You could talk about this movie for days.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I honestly think we should I kind of want to make a video about the trilogy.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be really nice, just like breaking them down and looking over them. And then also another side tangent, the Dawn of the Dead remake
Yeah,
is really fucking good.
it is good. I thought it was awesome. I like
Zack
that.
Snyder, James Gunn wrote that. I think that's like one of his first like big like Hollywood scripts next to like Scooby Doo that he did.
Just kind of checking out the chat here. Air fried, baby. Hot liquor wasabi, but at bust rhymes. Make like Leanne rhymes.
Because I'm all about value. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's super interesting because you have like the almost impossible job of remaking one of the most iconic movies of all time.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, there's some debate on the fast zombies shit, right? I think there's like that and like 28 Days Later, I think are like one of the better examples of like the faster zombies.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's intimidating, that opening scene with what's the actress name in Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
The actress?
Yeah.
I can't remember. The blonde,
but
blonde lady? Yeah.
Yeah, she ended up winning like an Academy Award, I think, for directing something.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, man. I would have loved to have seen that in a drive-in.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And that was cool. Yeah, that trailer's fucking awesome.
That was cool.
#yes. Let's go.
Gotta break it down. Hey, Allie. Quentin. Yeah. Oh, saying that easy. All right. So, that's the Dawn of the Dead trailer. There are a few of the other ones, but that's just kind of the one that I like because it lets you know. And when there's no more room in
Oh,
hell,
yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
more room in hell. The dead will walk the earth.
What? You know, no,
Who
there's like that's
Okay,
not
so
fucking real. That
so
cannot
here's
be
the
real.
deal. This is why James Cameron can suck a fart. You ready? He
There you
writes
go.
the stupidest, lamest dialogue for Titanic, right? And he wins an Oscar for original screenplay.
Awesome line. Yeah, man.
It is, Mike. He wins an Oscar for writing Titanic. I love you. Don't let go, Jack. Oh, I won't. Oh, no. I'm going to throw this diamond in the water and no one will find it. He wins an Oscar. Frickin' George Romero writes one of the sweetest lines of all time. Nothing.
Yeah.
Suck
Well,
it, James
that
Cameron.
just shows you like the Academy fucking hates horror movies.
They
had
do
to
hate
run
horror movies.
like when and I mean like a recent example like I don't even think Toni Collette got nominated for fucking Hereditary, which is
No,
that's one
she
of the
didn't.
best performances in like movie history. The Jordan Peele, in order for him to win that fucking Oscar for Get Out, which is an amazing movie, he had to run it as a fucking comedy instead of
Yeah.
straight horror.
The
You know,
old,
they
like
fucking hate horror
Kathy
movies.
Bates won for Misery.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. Robert Englund, John Carpenter just got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mhm.
Robert Englund's getting a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You got to give these people props. You just
Mhm.
have to
Yeah.
because of what the impact. I mean, that's pop culture. That's they will forever be immortalized as what they do.
Mhm.
So as long as James Cameron can make
Sup, swag?
swag.
But yeah,
What's up, dude?
I don't know, man. That line in Dawn of the Dead is like probably the fucking hardest lines I've ever heard in my life.
And you know the best part about that in the remake?
Mhm.
Who says that line in the remake? Ken Foree.
Mm-hmm.
I think Savini's in there too, isn't he? Yeah.
In
They're
the
all
remake,
most of the actors, yeah.
yeah, he shows up as the security guard guy. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's like freaking out or whatever, in that, or one of the security guard guys, or maybe, yeah, I think so. But
Swag.
sup, swag? Um, and yeah, I don't know. Again, I hope I'm not rambling or anything, but that movie is so awesome. That whole original like Romero trilogy, even though like Land of the Dead is fun, Survival Diary stuff like that is okay, you know, but that original trilogy is genuinely like probably one of the greatest trilogies ever.
The
So
guy that does the trailer for that, the voiceover, he did a lot of, like, he was Jaws, he did Jaws, he's done so many voiceovers. I can't remember his name, but at a certain point in his career, he would get $1 million a trailer, a voiceover. I don't know if you want to look to see. I can't remember his name.
Adolf Caesar,
Yeah, Adolf Caesar.
which sounds like that's like its terrifying name.
Yeah.
So
All right. We what else? What else we got about Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead. I honestly think the remake's like talking about the remake. The remake has some of the like nicest lines too. The whole scene about the forgot the actor's name. The part where he's like talking about being a father and stuff.
Yeah, they're
It's
sitting there
super
talking
sweet.
about their favorite jobs. And then they asked him, and he's like, being a dad.
And it's just so fuck, you know. All these movies are so good at just showing you how like like I don't know. There's a lot of like zombie movies, especially like nowadays, there's always like a layer of, it's a bunch of bullshit. They have fun. They hack zombies. Boom, boom, boom. Movie's over, right? But like these original movies are so like genuinely depressing.
Yeah.
Like they're so like, I mean, it's so almost brutally realistic in some aspects.
It gives you the perfect fighting mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like with theater and with everything. You know, the thing that moves us forward is the major thing that moves us forward is to win,
Mm-hmm.
to move forward, to fight.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a fight. You know, especially with like theater too, there's always, you're fighting for something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're fighting for survival, and there's nothing, either your survival, your family's for survival. It all's just, yeah.
Yeah. To learn, yeah.
And figuring out really cool ways to kill zombies.
That's true. That too.
I like
Yeah.
that line in Dawn of the Dead when him and his Ken Foree and his buddy, they go down and looking for stuff, and it's like, you need anything? He's like, could use some lighter fluid. And they're like, okay.
Mm.
It's just like the most
Yeah.
out of ordinary. It's just out of place. But
Mm.
okay, you ready for the next one?
Let's get on to the next one.
So, Dawn of the Dead, 1978, George A. Romero. If you haven't seen it, for God's sakes, watch it.
Yes.
Will make you happy. Okay, let's get this other one rocking.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Let's go.
This next one is from 1986. Beautiful little ditty. 1 second here.
The night of the full is finally here. For Chris, Cindy, and JC. It's going to be the best night of their lives. But tonight is also the night of the creeps. From a world unknown comes a nightmare unimagined. First, they are under you, around you, on you, and then inside you.
They get in through your mouth and you walk around while they incubate, even if you're dead.
They are a new breed of terror.
Freeze!
They are a different kind of horror.
Zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies. We could have a little problem.
The creeps are taking over.
I got good news and bad news, girls.
The
The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Yeah.
At a night like this. Night of the creeps. If you scream, you're dead.
Man, what a fucking movie.
Right?
Also, just while that was going on, Ryu, I'm just saying we wouldn't have so many awesome zombie games without these. Dead Rising, because of Dawn of the Dead. Dead Rising, that first Dead Rising game is amazing, right? Dawn of the Dead is so good swag, I agree. Striper rules, yeah. And Sup Library, how you
Striper.
doing?
Library's here.
Library's here.
Gotta put that on there, man. Striper rules!
Striper rules. But, man, Fred Decker.
Did you see that when, what's his name, the kid's in the bathroom, and there's that sign, there's that Monster Squad right across because he did Monster Squad too?
Yep.
And that's got, okay, you cannot start a conversation with Dawn of the Dead or the Night of the Creeps without saying Tom fucking Atkins.
Tom fucking Atkins, dude.
When he answers his phone, thrill me. He's just the best. And that line, well, the good news is your dates are here. Well, what's the bad news? They're dead.
Like, What?
Just so dead. Yeah.
You know what? Like, it's so good. It's perfect. It's perfect. I hate to throw that word around, but it's genuine fucking.
It is.
It's perfect.
It's a great movie. I remember the first time I saw that too. It was like HBO one summer. Yeah, the leeches are pretty nasty in that. Yeah, Dead Rising. Well, even I suppose you. God, I can't think tonight.
You're good, man. You're good, man. Yeah, there's something so Night of the Creeps, that's another movie where if it's on, like if I'm in the mood to watch that movie, I sit through that whole fucking movie without getting up.
Uh-huh.
I don't pause it, I don't get up, I'd piss my pants instead of getting up and using the bathroom. I love that movie. I wouldn't actually pee my pants. But you know what I mean. Like I love that movie. It's so good. Tom Atkins, we should have a designated trailer hour of Tom Atkins trailers.
Oh yeah.
Because the amount of movies he's in
Well,
are just iconic.
The Fog.
The Fog. Halloween
Escape
3.
from New York.
Escape from New York. Halloween 3. I do not give a shit when anybody says that movie rips. That movie's great. Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet is great.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that bothered me about Night of the Comet was the creepy aliens. They looked like they reminded me of the John Hurt's makeup from The Elephant Man.
Oh,
which is a whole different. I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, HBO. That was.
It's a pants pits. Yeah. I love that movie so much. And then Fred Dekker, man. I just want to talk about Fred Dekker for a second. That guy made Monster Squad.
Yep.
Which is, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, what? That movie's great. That movie's perfect. And then you watch Night of the Creeps. I love these movies so much, Dad. I think I told you about this one time when we were like fishing or something. But I sat and I wrote like a 10-page thing in class one time, in like middle school, where I like tried to combine those universes to see like if they could make like a Monster Squad meets Night of the Creeps.
Yeah.
And I just think that would be perfect. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
But Fred Dekker, and it sucks because all of his movies, I don't think Night of the Creeps, I don't think it made a lot of money at the box office, did it?
No, none of those movies did.
And
you
then he
need
made
a medical
fucking,
supply.
Yeah. Let's see. And then Life's World Around, watching Day, Dawn, and Return. Return. I love. Return's awesome.
But the thing about like Night of the Creeps is I like how they brought back. It was almost like they were bringing back the old 50s, late 50s, early 60s horror movies. You had the fraternity and the frat house, and and then you had the nerdy kids, and you had the jocks, and then you had the cute girl that was, you'd expect to be dating a jock, but she was, I mean, it was, and then you had the old cop who lost his love.
And then what's so crazy too is even though this is like, an 80s cheese fest movie, right? The shit with Tom Atkins having like PTSD is actually like sad as fuck. And then the scene like right towards like the latter end of the movie, which, spoiler alert, but there's that scene where he's sitting there and he gets the call, and then as he leaves you see that the oven's cranked and he was gonna
kill himself.
He's gonna kill himself. And then he gets up and he's like, fuck, I guess I gotta go blow some shit up. But let's see, we had to design a custom alphabet font and graphic arts, and I did a chainsaw guy killing zombies. That's awesome. And the 50s sci-fi. Well, right off the bat in the movie when you have the little aliens with the tube and they're like running and then it drops down and yo, what's up, Kate? But let's see here. Library. Yeah, the 80s movies had a classic horror throwback. I love it. I think to rewatch Night of the Creeps. It's been ages. It's such a good time. The lead actors, like the guy that was in Crutches, and then
Yeah, they
the
were
main
all
guy,
everybody
everyone's
hits it,
so
man. They
good.
sell it.
Yeah.
They sell it. They're acting and everything.
hmm
And I like it. I love how it's always and normally in those movies, and that's why the Tom Atkins part is so kick ass.
Yeah.
Is like the Blob with Steve McQueen, and you have all these where the high school kids need help and nobody's believing them and all that crap. Well, the cool thing about Tom Atkins is like he doesn't really have anything to live for in his head.
Mhm.
So he's like, yeah, I may as well help him. And I think that's so awesome. I mean, it's kind of sad, I mean, if you guys have seen it, you know what happens. Everybody's okay except for anybody who heroically will blow up a house to save a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. It's just a fun time.
Yeah. Then there's we should probably talk about there's two different endings to the movie.
Yeah, there was. One of them ended the way that in the original, in the theatrical version, the slug gets away, right? Doesn't the slug, but what happens then what happens in the other ending?
One of the endings, it's like kind of hinted at that. I think it cuts off before the spaceship shows up again.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end, it like cuts off, so you're like, what's going on? And then the thing happens where it sucks. I don't want to spoil it, but at the very end, it's interesting because both the endings are super dark, but one of them is like, oh fuck, kind of like sequel bait. They're trying to make. I feel like they're trying to like leave off on a cliffhanger to get a sequel.
Yeah.
And then one of the endings is a bit more like, oh, it's done. There's a little bit of something, but it's nothing too crazy.
It reminded me of the oh crap. Except the guy. What Invaders from Mars? That same year, Toby Hooper, I believe, did a remake of Invaders from Mars, and that was a great one too. And it kind of connected. I liked. There was a couple of years there where it was like they did that. They kind of brought the old 50s sci-fi flicks into it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is nice because then in the 80s you could at least throw in a sci-fi movie and then you could have the horror aspect to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then back when you're talking the Blob, for 80s remakes, the Blob remake, which the Chuck Russell movie.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that was pretty good too, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Night of the Creeps is like one of those movies where like it's like iconic line after iconic line. It's just such a thrill. It's such a nice movie to watch. But yeah, and then I wonder, I don't remember a lot of tracks from like the soundtrack. I'm gonna see who did the soundtrack to that movie because I do remember it having some nice tunes. Let's see, Buried of Poison. Well, yeah, The Blob with Kevin Dillon. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here. I'm going to do something.
All right.
I'm going to do something. I think most of these are on. I don't know what the The Blob with Kevin Dillon. Scream Factory didn't do any of the George Romero stuff, did they?
They did Day of the Dead.
They did Day of the Dead. Oh, they did do Day of the Dead.
We used to have the Day of the Dead one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I like when you get a chance to see two ending options, especially if the sequel never happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of starts working. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't know. I feel like Night of the Creeps, especially now, could totally open for like a really good like comic book sequel series, like what they did with The Fog, or something like that. Because I mean, again, not everything needs fucking sequels, but I'm selfish. I want to see more. Give me more.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to see an original sequel, not a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood can take their remakes and stick them up their butts.
Truth.
All right, we got another trailer coming up here, folks.
Also, I see that we got, I think, about
Classic.
18 people in the chat.
Nice. How you guys doing? Thanks for showing
How's
up.
everyone doing?
All right, here we go. What am I doing? There we are. One of the greatest soundtracks ever.
In the dark of the night, something strange is going on. Night of the Dead. Sure, they ship those bodies. Well, say hello. The dead have risen.
There's 100 of those things out there.
How many did you say?
100. Looked in. Out get.
Frank, we have a little problem.
4 left. 10 right.
It's all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job!
Tar Man.
Medical science.
Because technically, you're not alive.
What do you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think.
It's not a bad question, Bert. In that movie, they destroyed the brain to kill him. Is that what they did?
The brains, right?
Brain!
That is
Question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert. Bad question, Bert.
the return of the living dead.
Little issue there,
Yeah.
I think, with the.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cutting out there, so I apologize, y'all, for that. But the
You think this is a costume? This is a way of life.
you know, the soundtrack's so good. And then
Oh yeah, dude.
the
Here,
this
keep
is
talking.
another, yeah. This is another movie where the actors, Dan O'Bannon, the writer and director, they were just in their fucking element making this movie. This movie is it doesn't do no funny business. I mean, it is funny, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't any of that. It's just a fucking good time and it rocks. And then let's see, sorry. Tarman looks awesome, Ryu. The medical warehouse set is awesome. I've seen The Return more than I've seen Star Wars. I'm gonna be honest with you, probably same. And then damn, metal and horror, bringing back some memories here. Been so long since I've watched these. Yeah, man, give them a rewatch. And then this looks fire. Thanks, Fredhead. And then Swag. Have y'all seen Dead Alive? The Peter Jackson one? I have. That movie is awesome.
Okay,
movie is
sorry.
brutal.
Where are we at?
But yeah, I kind of read through the chat a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, Swag mentioned Dead Alive.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I kick ass for the Lord.
I kick ass for the Lord. but no, back to Return of the Living Dead though. Like, what's up, Tage? How you doing? But they're so,
Hey, Tasia.
I don't know, that Return of the Living Dead has got to be like one of my most rewatched movies ever.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I love how it. I just love how they set it up because you're like they're sitting there going, "Do you remember the movie Night of the Living Dead?" It's like, yeah. He goes, and there's these canisters and blah blah blah. Then there's like that split second. Oh, by the way, we got the canisters down here in the cellar here at the warehouse. You want to go see them? And you're like, yes.
And then he hits it in the fucking,
and the thing comes out, and
yeah.
But I love the soundtrack, just the boom, boom, boom,
yeah, yeah. It's and then Tarman, that design is so iconic.
Oh, totally.
The group of like punks, and then there's like Freddy, and then there's the Mortician.
The
Mortician guy,
Klaus or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man,
listening to the old German music.
I love when he's sitting there. He's listening to German music and he's like doing his shit, disembalming or I guess embalming. There we go.
Yeah,
the guy, and then he sits there and he gets a knock on the door. He pulls out like a fucking 1940s like German.
I know, and
you're like what? And oh my god, Dan O'Bannon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dan O'Bannon. And then I will say too, like Linnea Quigley as I think Trash.
Yeah.
Like awesome. Yeah, the way they fold in the lore of Night of the Living Dead, the canister breaking scene and the acid rain, Cribble Zombie origin montage. Yeah. Yeah. And then and then they're like sitting there like it's so funny because they accidentally unleash a zombie apocalypse. And then they're like, fuck, I don't want to tell the boss.
Yeah, don't. What's the boss gonna?
Yeah, he's like, fuck, I'm gonna get fired.
I'm gonna get fired. Trash.
Yeah.
That's so sad. He passed away too. The actor did. He had cancer, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to. One of the cast members, kind of a scuzzbag, but
yeah. The one of the punks. He's was one of the main. Yeah, he's a pervert. He was one of the main guys on that Quiet on Set Nickelodeon documentary. So, also I just want to say shout out to a lady named Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Real quick. Just shout out to Aaliyah. So
Aaliyah.
No, so but yeah, no, and I will say too, the Return of the Living Dead sequels are pretty okay too. At least like 2 and 3. 2's a little weird. I don't know, it's like super campy. And like but you got like Dana Ashbrook, the guy from Twin Peaks in there. And then you got Freddy and the older guy, the two guys that end up
Clu Gallagher and and the one guy that Karen, what's his name? James Karen. The guy that plays the one of the guys that hits the canister, you know?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the movie? He was Craig T. Nelson's boss in Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But those guys, so here you have this movie, right?
Yeah.
About zombies. And then you have these old school actors that, you know, when they were younger were on Leave It to Beaver and Andy Griffith's Show and, you know, back in the 70s were on Love Boat.
Yeah.
And here they're killing zombies, you know?
Yeah. Man, Return of the Living Dead. These are some good ass movies we covered today. I'm not gonna lie.
Man. And the thing too is like the special effects in Return of the Dead. Like when they get the one zombie and they pull it out, the female zombie that's half.
It's in there on the.
And like the spinal cord is moving, and then the liquid from the spinal cord is coming. And it looks so gross, but yet you're like, yeah, but I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, and then I will say too, and the what was so interesting in this movie though is it added like an extra layer of lore of the zombies when it's sitting there and they're like, "Why do you eat?" and they're like talking
Yeah,
zombies,
talking.
and it's just in there. It's like to rid the pain of being dead, and you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!" But yeah. So 2's a little weird. Yeah, 2's a really interesting movie. 3 is Brian Usna directed that one. The guy that did, he was a producer for a lot of the Stuart Gordon movies, and he also did like Bride of Reanimator and stuff like that. And yeah, awesome. I think the third one's pretty entertaining. 4 and 5 though, and then there's that new one.
The remake.
It's
Oh,
not
is it a remake?
I think it's a sequel. It's a straight
It's
up
a
like
sequel to
the original. So
see, that'd be cool. But yeah, whoever mentioned it before, it's so cool how they brought in, like, remember that movie Night of the Living Dead? You know, I mean, it's just like it was a thank you. I bet you Romero, he's the kind of guy that would have just loved that movie.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And an interesting thing about Dan O'Bannon, the guy who wrote and directed Return of the Living Dead, he also, back in the late 70s, wrote a script for a little movie called
Alien. Yep.
Which is really interesting.
It's really lowbrow,
Yeah,
underrated, flew under the radar, you know.
Yeah.
TP mentioned, you know.
Spinal Cord, that was crazy, dude. Turn it off.
Yeah.
You got to see zombie boobies.
Yeah. I remember the first time I watched it. What was it? You guys had bought it at a video store, and I had like a little portable DVD player. And you guys were, you know, as typically would, I would be sitting there after school or something. You guys would be like working or doing something, and I'd be like, I'm gonna watch a movie. You know, be like, oh, nobody will know. And then I watched it, and I was like, it changed something in my brain chemistry. I don't know, in a good way. The movie's awesome,
dude. I never cared what you watched when you were younger.
That's true.
Yeah, but but Return of the Living Dead, I remember the first time I saw the trailer. My mom and my younger sister and I went to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah.
And the trailer for Return of the Living Dead was in front of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Oh, it's a total life changer, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get too crazy, but Linnea Quigley in this movie was changed my brain too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't sound goofy or anything, but
oh no, that's not goofy.
And then like I don't know, the cast of characters, how they're all like how they intersect and eventually meet and then start helping each other.
Yeah.
And man, I really love the shit too with like the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the military, where it's like all this crazy shit's happening, and then it cuts to like this like like perfect little like I think isn't it like the president or like the general?
There was a general, yeah.
So
then he gets home and we had pork chops last night, and his wife's like, "Damn it, Jim, why are you so sad today?" And he's like, "Because we haven't found those canisters yet, Alice." And blah, blah, blah. And I had pork chops for lunch. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, no."
Yeah.
And then you got but the thing that I would love to have, what's his name? I can't remember. Has a YouTube channel.
Sean.
He goes through all the, like the set film locations. And he went to all the film locations for Return of the Living Dead are like gone.
Yeah.
The warehouse is gone. All that stuff is gone. And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
In a big way.
Yeah. And are you talking about Sean Clark?
Sean Clark.
The dude that's
Thank you.
Yeah. The military stuff in Return, those scenes are masterful. Yeah. What's for dinner? Your favorite lamb chops.
Yeah, lamb chops. That's it. Had them for lunch. Oh, yeah. God, library, thank you.
Library, you're awesome.
Had them for lunch. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another movie, man. Where if it's on, I'm watching it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm sitting there and somebody throws out like, "Oh, should we watch Return of the Living Dead?" I'm just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna watch that shit." Like right now.
Oh yeah, you have
know
to.
what I mean? I've shown that movie to people that don't like horror, that are not interested in zombies, and they've been like, "Oh my god, that movie fucking was awesome." You know, like it's such a classic. I love that movie so much.
I'm curious on what this next one's supposed to be, because you have the Tar Man alive carrying something, body or whatever,
and it's like Christmas time.
Yeah,
which is really interesting. I really wonder what they're gonna do with it.
It'll be a Christmas movie. Christmas movie.
Uh-oh. Cats fighting?
Uh-oh, what happened?
They're just battling. The cats are battling. But
Crazy cats.
Crazy kitties.
Give me a second. I'm feeling it.
You feeling another trailer?
Yeah, we're gonna just a second.
You would think somehow Yeah. Yeah, as much as I love the I would say like Return of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. For me, for like my favorite zombie movies are like tied.
Are you excited to get another strike?
Yeah. Did you already get notification about it? No.
I don't care. Who cares?
Who cares?
Strikes? We don't need no stinking strikes. Okay. Is it up there yet?
Yep.
A deadly experiment. A freak accident. A secret that will be carried to the grave as the horror classic is reborn. Return of the Living Dead, Part 2. Jesse will be the first to know. Billy will be the first to go.
Let's get out of here. Get to a phone.
7 of the living against an army of the dead, starved for life. Return of the Living Dead, Part 2. Just when you thought it was safe to be dead.
Plastic camp.
Dude, there's one moment when I went to rewatch this that I didn't remember is at the end of the movie there's the scene where they're at this like electrical plant and they're like zapping all the zombies and shit. And there's just like a Michael Jackson Thriller zombie.
Yeah.
That just shows up for like 2 seconds and just goes, oh, and then disappears and you're like, what? You're like, what the fuck? Bro's feeling it. Yeah, we're feeling it. That Jeep Load of Zombies is amazing. Oh man, I need to rewatch Yeah.
And I like how they brought back the James Karen and Tommy from the Friday.
Tommy from Friday the 13th. Yeah.
I like how they brought them back, and they were like, what? Were they a TV repairman or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lorimar.
Mm.
A lot of good ones on that one.
There's also a part 2 where I think it's when they end up getting sick again and they're like dying.
Yeah.
and 2, and they're like, I feel like I've been through this before.
Yeah, what's going on?
So,
but yeah, that was a time too when, like, you had to, for some reason, if you're gonna make a campy horror type movie, you had to have the kid in it.
Yeah.
You know, which is okay, I guess. You know.
Yeah, A Night Out with the Boys.
Yep. Yeah, that's another great one. Night of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, man, I love zombie movies, man. Zombie movies are so fucking good.
I'm excited for that new 28 Years Later.
Oh my gosh,
Actually.
dude, there's some stuff in the in 28 Days Later that's genuinely fucking freaky.
Yeah, that trailer is kind of spooky.
Or or even in the in like the original 28 Days Later, the scene where I think they're in like the barn and you see the zombie with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. Danny
like,
Boyle.
go away.
Yeah, it's like, bro, go to bed, bro.
Fast zombies are stupid.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the fast zombies, like the infected or whatever, I think they're scary as fuck because I mean they're sprinting towards you, right?
Yeah.
But especially, I think 28 Days Later, I think they did it the best with the run.
You know, I was kind of ticked off when I found out the zombies were going to be fast, and then I was like, I watched the movies. Yeah, it is exactly easy.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the last real scare I ever had was I think that's the part I'm talking about, dude. I remember when I watched
when he's in the church. When he's in the church, man, that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother me as much as that one set of movies where like vampires can walking out during the day, and they would crystal.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm a vampire. I have crystal skin.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. The
Twilight can. I watched the first one. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
But no, the fast zombies bothered me at first, but then I was like, why would the movie's amazing? How Danny Boyle? Come on.
Yeah, sparkle.
Sparkle.
Yeah. Yeah, man, there hasn't really been like a good other than like Train to Busan. There hasn't really been like any really good zombie movies. Near Dark's awesome.
Near Dark is it is a great.
Catherine Bigelow.
Oh yeah.
28 Days Later freaked me out as a kid. I love The Infected and Dying Light because they still have a little control. So yeah, Dying Light, that's a great game. Dying Light's amazing. I love that. Both those games are so good.
Yeah. Near Dark is a great movie. I like that one. Oh my god. I gotta do my research better. There's a Korean movie where there's a zombie apocalypse, and there's an apartment complex, and there's a gentleman that is in one apartment and he's a survivor, and then he notices, and then there's a woman on the other end of the apartment complex who's a survivor, so they're trying to communicate with each other. That's a good zombie movie. I like it when they do that kind of shit. You know. Yeah, Bart Simpson hearing reference.
Twilight, yeah.
Twilight. But yeah, do you have any other trailers you want to watch at all, or?
Thinking is trying to catch that same wave of the zombies. We might as well watch Day of the Dead trailer. We might as well.
Give me a second. And I thought Day of the those three movies are just perfect. I love them.
Did a weird remake of that Korean apartment movie, zombie movie with Donald Sutherland. I never heard of that. Maybe if I hear the name, I'll remember.
So what?
Korean Zombie. Hashtag Alive.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
That's
on
what it's
Netflix?
called. Yep. It's a good flick.
I have to check that
Do
out.
you want to party?
Boom, boom, boom. I might actually have to listen to that soundtrack after this.
Party time. Do you ever fantasize about
being
dead? Eaten alive? No, you creepy weirdo. All right. Here it comes.
First, he created the most frightening film ever made. Then, he took his unique vision of terror one step further. Now, George A. Romero takes us out of the night, the dawn, and into the darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead.
There have to be survivors in Washington.
Oh, my.
They have more sophisticated shelters than this one. There have to be people in those shelters who know about us, who know where we are. With no radio contact, they'll come looking for us.
I said shut up!
They can be tricked into being good people. Anyway, we were tricked into it and promised some reward to come.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? They're dead! They're fucking dead, and you want to teach them tricks?
They have to be rewarded, Captain. Why else will they do what we want them to do?
I don't want them to do anything but drop over! Those are my men in there! That's it. Run, you fucking lunatics.
George
That
A.
jump scare
Romero's
fucked me up
Day of
when I
the
first watched
Dead,
it.
the most eagerly awaited day in horror film history.
Man.
That was like one of those newer
Yeah.
damn trailers.
Yeah. The let's see.
Korean. Okay, Donald Sutherland.
They made a remake called Alone. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's called Alone. That's so interesting.
Donald,
Yeah, they have to
Donald
remake
Sutherland?
it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a return poster. Let me know if you find an extra one laying around library. Do you think the new Return of the Living Dead would be good? I'm not really sure, honestly. The directors, it's their first project. So, but they have the what's the guy's name? The guy that did the special effects for the Child's Play is doing the special effects for it.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, Tony.
I can't remember his name. I'm old.
Let's see, what's the guy's name? Let's see, 1 second.
I'm running this monkey farm, Frankenstein.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find it. Maybe I'm a goober. Can't find it. But yeah, that dream sequence is, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that with a long time ago with you, and it was in the middle of the night, and we're sitting there watching it, and that scene happened, and I oh shit! I was like, oh fuck! But the
I like
music,
scaring my kids when they were little.
you know,
We'd watch scary movies and I'd scare them.
you know. But man, oh my god, that opening scene where they kind of show all there's like I think they're like an alligator or a crocodile. They show like somebody's
Yeah.
like, and it's just
Yeah,
like, oh
pieces.
man, the boom, 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 boom,
Mhm.
and then Bud,
Yep.
dude,
Poor guy.
poor guy. The part where he like salutes at the end is so
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
yeah.
Oh, we were talking. Sometimes I liked the elevator that they had. To get down into the compound.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Dawn of the Dead. One of the coolest zombie kills ever in a movie was when the zombie in the helicopter blade,
Oh,
tripped off his head.
mm-hmm.
And I never watched how they really actually did. I mean, I'm sure they didn't have the actor.
Yeah.
I can hold my breath a long time.
Yeah.
Creep show.
American Werewolf in London. Oh man. The Shining. Yeah.
Jack, you're hurting my feelings.
Yeah. I just like this in there, and you just see his torn up ghost body, and he's like, "Are you gonna eat the toast?"
And that's great too in American Werewolf in London when he's in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What am I supposed to do? Just kill myself?" So then all the victims are like, "Yeah, why don't you just put a gun in your mouth and blow your head off?" No.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Come on, he's my friend. I don't want him to suffer." You're like, "Well, yeah, no." Well, what do you think? Call it a night?
Call it a night.
All right. It's the Joe and Tux Trailer Hour. We will be back next Saturday night with a few more trailers to show you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll even show some Creep Show, American Werewolf in London, and Shining.
Be very well.
The library's got something going on here. But yeah, so thanks everybody. Yeah, wait one more second here. I want to make sure that. Yeah, that is a classic. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, that movie is still freaky and hard to watch.
Yeah, do you know there's not a lot of blood in that movie? Because Tobe Hooper wanted it to be PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we didn't put a lot of blood in it, but it just freaked everybody out. I still think that part when he slams the
door.
The door.
Oh my god!
Come on, that would just be terrifying, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, library.
Thank you, library. I always love this. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, that was original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was pretty. Even
we
the
might have to
video
do the video game that just came out. We should do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 trailer next week.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah.
Keep the good stuff, you guys. Have a good night. You as well.
Yeah. Have a good night, Ryu. Give the kitties huggies. All right. Well, everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Library, Mike, Easy Comic Reader, Quentin, Lady Braven.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. Like I said, Tuck and I'll be back next Saturday night at 10 p.m. We might have a couple extra trailers to show. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer next time.
Yeah.
So,
and then I'll say too, I have my channel. I think you're probably gonna have it linked. I don't have a lot of videos or anything, but I'm thinking about making some sort of breakdown videos on horror movies. So
what's your? It's Spooky Dudes.
Spooky Dudes. It will be in the description.
But you got to put the
numbers. Yeah, or I'll make a comment or something, and
yeah,
so you guys could give me a subscribe, a sub.
Subscribe to this guy. He's kind of funny. He's got his shit together.
And then and then I also got another channel that Crazy Joe here has talked about, Fredhead. That one we do more sketch comedy stuff. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Anyways.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Have a great week. See you guys next Saturday night.
See you guys next Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Whoa.